I've given you a look at the Galaxy Tab S7 and Tab S7 Plus keyboard book cover cases. Hopefully I said that right. But there's going to be a lot of people out there who really don't want a keyboard or don't have a need for one. Some people just use their tablets for entertainment or other purposes, maybe internet browsing. Whatever you use your tablet for, you may want another option in terms of cases. And this is kind of what Samsung is going to be providing with just the regular book cover. And what we're going to be doing is taking a look at this book cover and just all around everything you need to know about it. Now, I know that this case says it's only for the Galaxy Tab S7 and Tab S7 5G. However, this can still serve as a guide if you're looking into this book cover for the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, because the cases are the same no matter what. All right, so let's get into some pricing and specs now. What you're going to be looking at for pricing is $69.99 if you're going for the Tab S7 book covers, and the Tab S7 Plus book cover is $10 more at $79.99. No matter which book cover you get for which tablet, they're going to come in 3 different colors. That is black, the bronze, which is what I have here, and gray. As far as other features for this book cover case, you have 2 angles, which consist of a 50-degree angle and a 65-degree angle. There's definitely auto wake functionality on board, so once you put that cover right over the tablet and store it away, it will turn off your screen, of course. And on the back of the case, there is an opening for the S Pen on the outside. It also has a S Pen holder on the inside, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit further in detail, but this is pretty much what you kind of need to know. So now let's go ahead and just open this up. Keep in mind I have opened this already. I am very bad at that. Before I do my reviews, I kind of just go ahead and open these things. Of course, I got to get hands-on time with it, but you know. So, of course, this is already open because this is for my wife's tablet. There we go. You can just see the back of the cover case right here. And you have your quick start materials, which I'm not going to read. Here we go. This little cardboard to kind of keep the case in place. Going to put that to the side. And here's your case. Now, if we take a look at the inside, I kind of like what they did here with the icons they have down here. These 2 lighter lines you see on the case are actually your magnetic lines for keeping the tablet steady when you're holding it in either that when you're putting it up in that 50-degree or 65-degree angle. You also have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 branding right here and the made in Vietnam thing right here. Well, you know what I mean. This is actually your S Pen holder. The material on the inside of the case is really, really nice to the touch. It's kind of like I guess you could say suede material. It's really premium feeling and really, really nice to the touch. You'll see right here you have that hole for the S Pen, and I'm going to show you that on the back also. And right here, this line allows you to actually sit the tablet up, which I'm going to show you also. If we take a look at the back, you'll see that same hole right here for the S Pen. So you can actually use it to charge the S Pen on the back of the tablet. You have your Samsung branding here, and on the outside of the cover, it's kind of still that faux leathery, like I said in my other review. I'm sticking with that word, that's mine. This faux leathery material right here, and nothing else. It's a pretty simple, straightforward case, really. So let's go ahead and put this on the tablet. Getting this onto the tablet is pretty easy. You can just set the case down and put the tablet with the S Pen strip right here facing upwards, and it just goes in magnetically. And that's it. Now, in terms of the shake test I usually do, I'm not going to do this too much because I actually tried it and had to kind of refilm this because I dropped the tablet on its face, so don't shake this too much. But as you can see, it's like you can do some light shaking. The magnets here are not as strong as on the Galaxy Tab S7 and S7 Plus book cover keyboard. Sorry, I had to say that slow to make sure I got it right. Probably still didn't get it right, but as you can see, this is how the case works. I believe this is at your 50-degree angle, and then you have that one more notch down here for your 65-degree angle. So maybe you're surfing the internet and you want to type or something like that. Do I have Chrome here? Yeah, so if we do that, let's say, let's go to IGN.com. As you can see, makes it pretty easy. Whereas the 50-degree angle, it's a little bit harder to type. I feel like this is kind of more if you have a keyboard, like an external keyboard, a separate one, that's not the keyboard case. This would probably work a little bit better for you. On the back of the case, this is where your S Pen goes. And you can definitely keep it there, but just keep in mind, unlike the Galaxy Tab S7 and S7 Plus keyboard book cover case, still feel like I'm saying that wrong, there is no flap for your S Pen here. So you really want to be wary of when you're putting this down, because it will actually just like kind of slide across on your S Pen and everything, and you can kind of damage it, or even worse, lose it and have to pay for a new one. If we take a look on the inside, you have a bay for your S Pen right here. I did think it was pretty cool. It's really nice that they have this here for easy access. My one big gripe with it, though, that I mentioned, this does not charge the S Pen. So what I find is that when I'm using this and I go to do sort of any gestures or anything like that, because obviously the S Pen will work without a battery, but for the gestures, meaning if you're doing any air actions or air gestures or anything along those lines like that, you have to end up putting it back on the strip right here in order for it to charge. So that inside little bay right here, well, I'm all over the place right now. That inside little bay right here does not charge. It is strictly for when you are actively using your S Pen and you need to store it quickly and get back to it quickly. So that's one thing you really, really want to be aware of. Now, other than that, there are some magnets up here that actually keep the keyboard case, the book cover closed, which is pretty nice. And it's really, really slim. It really highlights just how thin these tablets are. I mean, I believe the Galaxy Tab S2 from way back was actually thinner than this, but for what we have in these tablets now, this is pretty thin. And this really keeps that profile really, really slim. You can just slip it in a bag easily, hold it easily. Not as thick as the keyboard cover case. And it's really, really, I feel like it's a really nice case. All right, now let's talk about cons. Before I go into that, please excuse this little glare right here. That is not a discoloration. The sun is actually just setting in the woods behind my house, so that's all glare. Just making do with what I have. Now, in terms of the cons, I still feel like the price for either of these cases, however you say that, is still going to be a con. Reason being is because it cost less than $10 to make something like this. And I know that companies have to keep their profits up so they can put that into R&D and everything, but I still feel like it would have been nice for this to be priced a little bit more competitively, maybe $50 or something along those lines. Same kind of gripe I had with the keyboard cover case. And that's for both, because obviously for the Tab S7, you're paying $69.99, and for the Tab S7 Plus, you're paying $79.99. It could have even gone so far to just kind of make them both the same price at a lower price, if that makes any sense. You can definitely find these cheaper. I'm pretty sure you can even find them open box, maybe Best Buy or Amazon, something like that, but I still think the price is a con. My next con is that the magnets on this book cover case, they're strong, but they're not as strong as the ones on the keyboard book cover case. And that may not seem like a really, really big deal, but you know, if you are holding your tablet and let's say, for instance, for some reason, I don't know, some active nature happens and your tablet falls or something like that, this can come out. Like, that was pretty easy for me. On the keyboard cover case, I usually have to, like, you've seen my shake test if you've seen my keyboard cover case video, but magnets could have been a little bit stronger on here. My next con is that the S Pen bay right here does not charge the S Pen. Now, I kind of thought about this and I was really thinking if I was being unreasonable, but I think this can be done. Now, if Samsung would have just closed this little hole up right here, just sort of made it kind of with the same materials right here, and at least let the camera stick out, they could have possibly put some kind of conductor right here, which would send power to this bay on the inside. And that would make it so your S Pen is secure. You don't have to really worry about it being on the back of the tablet. And I just think that would have been a better use case for it. Maybe they'll do that next year, or maybe they won't, who knows. But for what you're paying for this, I think that would have even upped the value of this and kind of reached that price a little bit more. Now, my other gripe with this is that that cutout doesn't have a flap on it, like the keyboard cover case. If they're not going to do what I just mentioned, they could have at least included a flap here so that your S Pen doesn't get damaged if you put it down, or it's less likely to get damaged if you put it down, or that you don't stand the chance of losing it. Because, like, on the off chance, like, what if you put your S Pen somewhere where there's like a ridge or something and it comes off, you don't notice that, now you lost or damaged your S Pen. Of course, you could be careful, and I know people are probably thinking, oh, you're probably nitpicking. But, you know, yes, I am nitpicking. Let me be very, very honest. I am probably nitpicking with a lot of these points, but like I've mentioned in some of my other videos, what we are paying and what these manufacturers are asking, I don't feel like it's adding up anymore. I feel like they're kind of getting a little bit lazy and a little bit more comfortable with the fact that people are willing to dish out money on stuff like this, and they're not necessarily giving us what everything is really worth, in my opinion. Anyway, my last gripe with this case is that I feel like out of these two magnetic lines here, the 50-degree angle and the 65-degree angle, they could have possibly added a third line maybe right here, which would have actually been better if it's kind of on like a plane tray, and that would have been better for watching movies and things of that sort. You can still do it right here, but being that this is a TFT display, you're not going to get the best angles at every angle. So, I mean, I just feel like they could have added one more line here, or maybe taken the lines back or something like that and just made like a third angle or whatever have you. Other than that, this is a pretty nice and slim, very, very basic case. I'm kind of glad that Samsung didn't stop making them, because a lot of other manufacturers do sort of fall short. And even with all the cons I just mentioned, I would still look into this case. Then again, I almost always never buy anything at MSRP, but yeah, if you really want a simple case, something not as clunky as a keyboard and a separate piece to go on the back of it, this is a pretty good case. So as always, wherever you are in the world, have a good day or have a good night. And hopefully this in-depth review of the Samsung book cover was very helpful to you. Let me know in the comments, please.